Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Alice in Wrongful Conviction Land. It's been a while. It certainly has been a while. But I'm back. We had a protest for Luke on Saturday, and it was absolutely fantastic. The turnout was brilliant. Loads of people turned up this time. More than there was the last time, which was unbelievable. I'm just going to wait for a few minutes and see if anybody else is going to join us in the chat before I get onto things. Basically, what I'm going to be doing tonight is just showing you some videos that was took. Yeah, it was a great turnout this year, Dark Side. It certainly was a great turnout. A lot more than what we had a few months ago. So that's absolutely brilliant. Please let me know if you can hear me all right. It's a new microphone and things like that. So just let me know in the chat if you can hear me all right. That would be great. So Saturday the 13th of May was the protest. It'll be 20 years this year, next month. It'll be exactly 20 years since poor Jodie was murdered. Hi, Luke Mitchell is innocent. Nice to see you. Hi, Darkside. Great to have you in chat. Caledonia vibes. Glad to see you. Sorry to hear that you were in an accident recently. I hope that you're okay and recovering. Taking it easy. We have hi, I will listen in half an hour. Don't mean to be rude when I leave around 9:30. Can hear you loud and clear. Thank you so much. Look, Mitchell is innocent. Thank you so much. We've got hi our William. Nice to see you. We've got the beautiful Catnut. Hi Catnut. Great to see you. We've got Andy B. Hey Andy B. Nice to see you. We have the beautiful Mystic Jinx. Hey, gorgeous. Peeks back at you. We've got the lovely Disco Pervert, who is soon going to be my partner in crime. We're planning a wee something for the channel. Not exactly sure when, but hopefully it will come up soon. We just need to go over a few things. Inexplicable Susan. Hello, my dear. Lovely to see you. Fantastic. Yeah, you're in the house. So yeah, it's great to see everyone who's popping in so far. I'll just hang off for a few more minutes just to see if other people are going to be coming in. This one's going to be a little bit different to how I normally do the podcasts and stuff. I'm going to be showing videos, but it was actually the lovely Dark Side who had suggested that this time when I did the video at the protest and everything like that, and instead of not just doing the protest, just videoing the protest, she made a suggestion about maybe, actually speaking to people. So that's exactly what I did. There is not many pictures of myself, thank God. Hi, Becca, lovely to see you. Fantastic to have you here. Um, and it's all about the crowd. And I wanted to get other supporters' opinions. What their thoughts are on some parts of the case, things like that. So that's exactly what I did. I was in and out the crowd. I will say that there will be bits in the video that'll just be either you're looking at bits of pavement or the sky or something like that, but that's because before I even filmed anybody, I asked their permission. I just basically I told them the truth. I was like, I'm recording a video for YouTube. It will be going on YouTube. If you're happy to participate, that's great. If you're not, then that's also great. You know, some people are there to support, and don't want to be on camera. That's absolutely perfect. The fact is that they were there and they supported, and that's the main thing. So, um, it's great to see everybody in chat, and it's been a while since I've done this, so I have to try and remember how to do things. Yes, me and Disco Pervert have been doing a wee chat, and we are going to do like a rebuttal sort of thing, like we do on foul play. Like we've done with reading with the crew and things like that. We've read the book and we take it chapter by chapter, bit by bit. And that's what we're kind of hoping to maybe do in the future. And we're going to start off with Scott's book, and then maybe after that we'll end up going on to Sandra's book. We'll just wait and see. So, as I says, I'm just waiting on a few more people to pop in. I have tweeted it. I've posted it in Discord. I have put it on my Facebook page. So I'll just be a case whoever pops in, and that will be that, basically. So yeah, I think I've got everybody in chat so far. It's great to see some of my foul play team here in the chat with me tonight as well. And if you're lurking, that's perfectly fine as well. Hello and welcome to you. Yeah, Disco, yeah, butts the re-button. Butts for re-button, definitely, definitely. Well, no, I mean, it's not just that. I mean, there's things in Scott's book that aren't in Sandra's book. He's went into a lot more of, a lot of things have came out over the last few months with the case as well. If I've got time after the videos, I'm going to be showing some articles and everything like that. And it's, excuse me, it's really all kicked off when Professor David Wilson did an article on Luke's case. Now, if you don't know who Professor David Wilson is, he is a professor, and now I'm going to spell this wrong, and I do absolutely apologize to everyone. It's Emeritus of Criminology and the founding director of the Centre of Applied Criminology at Birmingham University. Now, he is well known here in the UK. He's done loads of crime podcast programs, um, things like that. Um, he's done In the Footsteps of Killers, David Wilson's Crime Files, Interview with a Murderer, um, Murder Casebook, Fred Dinage, Voices of a Serial Killer, to name just a few. And people had been tagging him um, and everything like that about Luke's case. But he is a really, really, really busy man. But I think when COVID hit and things like that, he managed to get the chance to look into what he could, and he actually did an article about Luke's case. And in that article, he specifically said that he doesn't understand why there was even a court case, never mind a conviction, when it comes to Luke. So, um, it's astonishing that he has came out. Professor David Professor David Wilson said Luke shouldn't have been arrested, let alone convicted. Yes, Luke Mitchell is innocent. That is absolutely true. Um, and do you know what? Just before we get into the videos and things like that, I'm going to actually show you uh, the article that he did on Luke's case. Um, just let me get to this. Didn't he say? Didn't he say he hasn't seen all the evidence? Just saying, don't shoot me. He says that he has seen the evidence that he could get information from William. If you give me a sec, I will just get the article. And oh, aye. There's no point in doing that if I'm not even showing yous. Hi, Rhonda SD. Lovely to see you. Yes, Darkside. Where's my gun? Wait a minute. Where is it? All the articles, podcasts, things like that are all in the description below. Right, let me remember. Let's see if I can remember how to do this now. I'm just trying to keep an eye on. Yeah, it is shocking, Caledonia vibes. It is shocking that he's still locked up. Absolutely, absolutely. Especially even now with the amount of information that has came out recently. Right, let me see if I can remember how to do this. Share my screen. There we go. We'll do that one. Share. Now that should pop in for using a second, guys. Hopefully. Oh no, that's not what I want. Give me a minute. What's happening here? Yay, what's happening here? Where's the... Is that the one I want? Why did they change all the bloomin' layouts? Jeezy peeps. Now, see, no. Let's try this one. Is that one any better? Is that the way it's gonna... There we go, that's better. That's better. Right, there we go. Now it's in the Scottish Daily Express. Now, recently, there has been a few media outlets. Our William, thanks for reading out my question, Mucker. No problem, William. That's not a problem at all. Yeah, Caledonian, he did take his bloody time. I don't care if it's past the watershed time, Andy. My swearing and cursing will be happening. It's my channel. So if you've got sensitive ears, this might not be a very good channel for you to listen to. I will just put that warning now. Yes, there will be cursing, swearing, foul language, however you want to put it. But that can, will, and may happen on the channel. So, right, so let's get into this. I'm just want to wait and see if any more people come and join us in chat before I start the video. Professor David Wilson, Emeritus Professor of Criminology at Birmingham City University, reckons the real killer has never been brought to justice. And I hope you can see that okay in the chat. I'm only here for the sex, violence, and gratuitous language, though. I was just making sure. Oh, well, that's all right then, Andy. You're in the right place. Okay, a TV criminologist has waded into the Jodie Jones murder case by claiming Luke Mitchell should never have been arrested, let alone convicted of the killing. Professor David Wilson, currently touring the UK, discussing his career studies, violent criminals, said there was nothing that suggested Mitchell had committed the crime. Instead, Professor Wilson believes schoolgirl Jodie's killer has still not been brought to justice. 19 years on, 14-year-old Jodie was killed in the woodlands in Dalkeith, Midlothian in July 2003. Mitchell was also 14, and Jodie's boyfriend at the time was serving a life sentence in prison, having been ordered to spend at least 20 years behind bars and will be due for parole in 2025. He has maintained his innocence throughout, but several appeals to overturn his conviction has been rejected. Supporters also claim he was not responsible and cite a lack of forensic evidence as proof. As Professor Wilson seems to agree, writing in the Herald on Wednesday, the Scot compared the case to the death of Margaret McLaughlin in 1973. Local man George Beattie was convicted of that killing, but Professor Wilson is convinced police had the wrong man. He adds, "My fear is that Jodie's killer has never been caught and punished at all." The Emeritus Professor of Criminology at Birmingham City University concedes his knowledge of the case is limited to transcripts from courts, newspapers, TV shows, and podcasts, but he says even accepting that I could not access all the materials I would have wanted. There is literally nothing, nothing I could uncover that warranted Luke even being charged with Jodie's murder, never mind being sent to trial. Now, for him to come out and say that, that is a big deal. That really is a big deal. Professor David Wilson added, instead, there seemed to be a concentrated press campaign to damage his character, which served to support the police's actions. And in much of the same way that George's reputation got tarnished by his pseudo confessions, he's alluding to the pop group Slade with his references to men wearing tall hats with mirrors on them. Luke gets similar treatment. By this time, it's the American goth rocker Marilyn Manson that's harnessed to do the damage. There is no forensic evidence whatsoever to connect him to Jodie's murder, despite the horrifying way in which she was killed. As with George, there's no signs of murder on his person, and nor is it true that his clothes were destroyed by his mother after the event. Witnesses' testimony is weak, inconsistent, and more than likely wrong. And about the other thing that I could see that needed to be investigated more fully was his part in the initial discovery of Jodie's body. However, this was not a case of circumstantial evidence leading to a conviction, but one of literally no evidence at all. It recently emerged that DNA samples recovered from Jodie were never tested by police. Police Scotland also destroyed more than 100 pieces of protected evidence related to the case. Mitchell, now 34, was branded truly wicked by George Lord Nemo when he was sentenced in 2005. Despite the lack of forensic evidence, a witness said they had seen two people resembling Mitchell and Jodie near the woods shortly before the murder. Mitchell's brother also cast doubt on the killer's claims he was at home when Jodie was murdered, while his knowledge of the location of the corpse and interests in other similar murders were also used by the prosecution. Is that it? Is that what it's gave us? That's what it's gave us. So for somebody as prominent as that to come out and say, that even he doesn't believe that Luke did it. And he knows his stuff. You know what I mean? This guy, this Professor Wilson, really, really, really knows his stuff. You give me a wee second, I'll go back and I'll get his just to show you. Just to let you see who we're on about, because you might recognize his face rather than me just saying his name. This is Professor David Wilson. Absolutely, Rhonda. It's outrageous how much worse it would had we never gotten the internet. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Disco, he does know his stuff. And I don't think that he would come out and say that he thinks Luke is innocent if he didn't think Luke was innocent. You know what I mean? Yes, Darkside. This is Professor David Wilson. This is who done an article a couple of weeks ago. And for what he's been able to see and recover from the information that he's been able to gather, Luke never done it. He says Luke never done it. He says Luke shouldn't even went to trial. Never mind anything else. And we all believe him. We all believe him. so um so this is who he is. I mean, the UK supporters and ones in chat might know who he is just by his face, but for our American friends and that, I don't know if you'll have heard of Professor Wilson, but as I says, he's very, very prominent here in the UK, and he's came out and he's did this article for Luke. So right, okay, so that's just one article. Now that article is down below in the description, so if you would like to go and read it for yourself or whatever, it's there to be done. What's that? Disco. He teaches all over the world. He has a reputation to keep intact. I'm sure he didn't publish it lightly. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Disco. Exactly. I don't think he's going to put his name out there like that and say that stuff if he didn't think, if he thought for a minute that Luke was guilty, you know. So, right. Let's get to this. Now, the reason why I'm showing this first, guys, is because I missed the beginning of it when I started my video because I was away meeting my wee brother. So, um, and I just missed the beginning of this. Disco, the Daily Record is going to fucking raging. Yeah. Oh, they've done 3 articles on that since it came out, and we're all delusional and everything like that, and the family's being harassed on social media and everything like that. You know what? Like the Mitchell family has been harassed since 2003 to 2023. You know what I mean? So yeah, if they're going to mention about the Jones family being harassed, then they should also mention in the same breath that Luke's family was harassed, but they've been harassed since 2003. We're now in 2020 fucking 3. You know what I mean? So I fucking hate that paper, Disco. I really do hate that paper. And the fucking hacky reporter that works for it and all. She needs to take a long fucking hard look at herself and stop spreading the lies that are now being proven by evidence, and for Police Scotland to still continue to say that this fucking conviction is safe, sound, and secure, and all forensic testing was done. Bollocks is what I say. Bollocks. Katna, I don't know if he wants to be involved in the case. I don't know what his capacity could be to get involved in the case. So that one I can't 100% answer for you, I'm afraid. I mean, I would love for him to be able to get in, get in and get involved in Luke's case. That would be brilliant if he could get involved in Luke's case. So, right, what you're going to hear. Well, let me just do this a wee minute. I'm going to switch my camera off for a momento. And then I'm going to... Oh, I don't know why it's done that. Why is my icon like that? My icon shouldn't be like that. Bloody hell, it should be the protest sign. Right, anyway, right, let's go on. We'll get this done. Screen share. Now, guys, this, as I say, is the reason why I'm showing this first is because my video, when it starts, I'm walking up to the crowd and everything like that. And then I hear Luke talking, and I was like, oh, what's that? So Luke gave a message to his supporters who were going to the protest. So I shall play that for you and let you hear that for yourselves. There was people in tears and everything like that as well. Just hearing his voice. And I shall let it play. So here goes.
Hi everybody. Thank you for all turning out today. It's great to know that all of you are in support of truth and justice and the fight against this miscarriage of justice. And I'm just so grateful that all of you have turned out today to make it heard and make it known that this will no longer be tolerated. And the more people we can bring to this cause and the more people we can add to our numbers and add to this fight, the less chance anybody has of denying that there's anything to answer. The less chance there is of them just turning their heads and ignoring us. That's been their standards practice so far, and no more now, because people can now see the truth. They see the lies that have been told. They see the falsifications that have been made, the evidence that's been hidden away, the evidence that's been destroyed in order to try and cover up the truth. And it's just so great now that people are seeing this and standing up and saying, not anymore, not in my name. Because that's what they've done so far. They've said that this is on your behalf and with your consent. But you're all standing here today saying that, no, this is not with my consent. And that's what's needed. And it's about time that the people in charge, the police, the Crown, the courts, the Scottish ministers themselves listen to this. That they don't have a chance to turn their heads and ignore it anymore and just pretend that there's nothing wrong with the system. Because the system itself is wrong. So don't lose heart at how long this process takes, because that's what they count on. They want to drag this out for as long as possible so that people lose heart, they lose interest, and don't want to pursue it anymore because they just give up because they think, what's the point? It's not getting anywhere. Don't fall for those tricks. This is exactly what they want. So stay strong and keep fighting. And the more you fight, the less they have to fight back with. So thanks again for turning out, and thanks again for all your support. And keep going, just keep pushing harder, keep demanding more and more answers to the questions that haven't been answered yet. Keep demanding that the truth is brought out, and keep demanding that those responsible for this horrific injustice are brought to light and made to answer publicly for their crimes, not only in law, but their crimes against the public, their crimes against justice itself. Because only after they've been made to answer for these things will anything start to change. And that's what we need. This isn't just about trying to overturn a wrongful conviction. This is about trying to make sure that none of this ever happens again to anyone that you know or care about. Because it will. If this is allowed to continue, this will happen to more people. And the likelihood is it will be somebody that you know, or somebody connected to somebody who you know. And is that what anybody wants? Is anybody willing to allow that to happen? If anyone answers yes to that, then the system's more broken than I even realised it was. So keep pushing, keep demanding, and do not stop until we get these answers, until we get these wrongs corrected. I won't say righted, there's nothing that can right any of this, but if we can at least start on a course correction, we can make serious changes happen. So thank you all again, and good luck with the future campaigning.
There we go, guys. Look, in his own words, to his supporters, you can hear in his voice, you know, the appreciation that he's got for the supporters, you know. So yeah. Let me just see now. I'm going to share my screen again. Share. And I want that one. So hopefully that'll pop in. Now, that video, that chat from Luke is in the description below. Yeah, as I says, Dark Side, it's actually Dr. Sandra Lean. You can find it on Dr. Sandra Lean's YouTube channel as well. That's in the description below. And as I says, hopefully the screen is sharing properly. Why is that not came in there? I don't know what's going on. Why what you did. Okay, something's gone wrong. Wait a minute. I don't know what's happening. Oh, why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me now? Right, let me see. Stop sharing the screen now. Let's see if that will do it. There we go. Hello, 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 you lovely truth, justice warriors. Right. We're cooking with gas, Batman. We're cooking with gas, Batman. Right. So this is the beginning of the videos that I've done. Now it's going to be a couple because I couldn't keep recording all the time because I was getting spoken to and everything like that. So but as I says, as I'm just walking up, Luke's being played. So that's why I played the message first, because I missed the beginning of it, and then you'll hear the rest of it before that. Now, the two lots of videos I've got, well, there's 3 videos altogether, and they're about half an hour each. So, let's get it rolling. I'm here at Holyrood. Here's the beautiful, oh, wait till I turn the camera around. Well, you can see there's the beautiful after seat behind me. So it's absolutely gorgeous here today. So, and wait until you see this, guys. I am so chuffed. The turnout for Luke has been unbelievable this time round, which is absolutely fantastic. So here we go, guys. I'll just turn the camera around and let you see for yourselves. Look at this, everybody. Justice for Luke! 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 Look at this, guys. This is unbelievable. The crowd is amazing.
You get a good signal.
I'm just recording a video and then I'll be on a live.
I tried to go live with it.
Look at all these people, guys. It's amazing. Look at them all.
If this is allowed to continue, this will happen to more people. And the likelihood is it will be somebody that you know, or somebody connected to somebody that you know. And is that what anybody wants? Is anybody willing to allow that to happen?
No! No!
Justice for Luke Mitchell!
I didn't realise it was. So, keep pushing, keep the man down, and do not stop until we get these answers, until we get these wrongs corrected. I won't say righted, there's nothing that can right any of this, but if we can at least start on a course correction, we can make serious changes happen. So thank you all again, and good luck with the future campaigning.
follow that. First, massive thank you to everybody for coming out today, taking time out for Saturday just to be here and to say, no more. I'll try and it'll be 20 years next month since Jodie was murdered. She's never had justice. We've been accused of doing this because Jodie's family won't believe and they're suffering.
Nope.
We don't. We do this for justice, but the responsibility for the pain and the suffering that it causes for Jodie's family lies squarely at the feet of Lothian and Borders Police. Back then. Their rush to judgment and sole focus on Luke to the exclusion of everyone and everything else is the reason we're all standing here today. If they'd done the job properly, none of us would be here. They said back then they were just waiting for the results of DNA tests to prove their main line of inquiry. And if it didn't prove it, they were going to go back to square one. When the results came back with nothing to connect Luke to the murder or the murder scene, did they go back to square one?
No!
You're all wrong, they did. Because their square one was that Luke Mitchell was the murderer, no matter what the evidence told them. So they did go back to square one. They didn't change a damn thing. There are dozens of examples of how badly this case was handled. And you know most of them. So the failure to secure the crime scene and cover poor Jodie's body, the failure to properly follow up on other leads, the contamination of the evidence, interfering with witness recall, the list goes on. And we need to remember that a lot of these witnesses at the time were children, bullied and coerced by the police, children. But today I wanted to focus on something that's been a bit of a conversation over the last week or so. We already knew there was one full DNA profile found on Jodie's clothes, on her t-shirt, from her sister's boyfriend, which was explained away as innocent transfer. But in September 2003, a newspaper article reported another sample from saliva, and there were two profiles, neither of which was Luke Mitchell. That sample, they said, eliminated Luke. So, what happened to it? Well, I checked last night. Every single sample labelled saliva came back in the results, no reportable result. That can be true if they were able to identify partial profiles of two males and to say they were not Luke Mitchell. That is a reportable result. So where is it? In what first-class investigation that leaves no stone unturned do 3 samples of male DNA from bodily fluids found on the victim's clothing just get ignored or explained away? But it's not just Lothian and Borders Police who were at fault in this case. The media shamelessly and relentlessly demonised a 14-year-old kid, not just for the 19 months between the murder and the trial, but for the best part of the 18 years afterwards. Now, there are a few notable exceptions, a tiny few, but aside from them, every article was negative. Every chance they got to mention Luke's name or Corinne's name, they hyped the hatred and fury that led to the conviction in the first place. And then in 2021, Channel 4 showed murder in a small town, and the tide began to turn. Thousands of you watched. Thousands of you were disturbed and angry that you'd been misled and lied to. You began to realise the hell the Mitchell family had endured for all these years, and it began to dawn. If it could happen to the Mitchells, it could happen to anybody. And then you came together to form an army demanding justice for Luke and for Jodie. Over 25,000 of you signed the petition calling for an independent review of the case. I checked this morning, we're over 27,500 now. But the authorities were not going to give in without a fight. In 2022, we began to hear whispers that something was going on with the evidence. Just after we handed the petition in, right here in this building, we discovered that Police Scotland had begun destroying the evidence. We moved as quickly as we could, but by the time we found out, most of that evidence was gone, including those DNA samples that eliminated Luke. I can't begin to tell you how that felt. Almost 20 years fighting to have this case reviewed and the evidence rechecked, and it was all gone. For weeks, we waited for explanations. We waited to find out how much was gone and what, if anything, was left. The explanations were a bad joke. The police blamed the Crown blamed the police said they destroyed a huge chunk of the evidence in error. Oops! But the truth of the matter is the way they set about destroying this evidence broke with all their own guidelines and procedures. And then they tried to explain all that away by putting new interpretations onto old rules. And in order to do anything about it, we have to prove that they acted in bad faith. It's as clear as the nose on my face that they did. But because they used phrases like erroneously destroyed and adequate procedures, we can't prove that it was in bad faith. But all is not lost. Some of the forensic samples survived that destruction. And so began the next battle to get the samples released for testing. There was a file that had been hidden for all those years. Surely, we thought, that would have to be released. You all know the answer to that one?
Nope.
In order to distance itself, the PF's office batted it back to Police Scotland, saying they would make the decision about what to release or not. Police Scotland came back with a list of conditions. How dare they? One of these conditions was that the samples had to be tested in their own labs to preserve the integrity of the evidence. Preserve the integrity. They already destroyed 90% of that evidence.
Load of bollocks.
Precisely. That was the technical term for what's going on here. A load of yeah. And so the battle continues. This is what we're up against. It's what we've always been up against. But as Luke pointed out, all of this is being done in your names, on your behalf. The reason they've got away with it for so long is that most ordinary people have no idea how the justice system works. We're fed this cosy picture of a well-oiled machine that jumps into action as soon as there's a crime, checks every angle, gathers all evidence, everything available, and above all, operates fairly and impartially. Every one of you here today knows that that's not the case, if you didn't before. But alongside that, continuing to push for an independent review, this is one of our most important tasks. education. People need to know what's being done in their names and what's being passed off as justice. Is justice simply the strict interpretation of rules or laws? Or is it something much, much more than that? The lives of 2 children were destroyed in 2003. What happened to Jodie was horrific. To realise that her murderer has been walking freely amongst us for almost 2 decades is almost unthinkable.
Disgusting.
And look, from the moment Jodie's body was found, something even before that, Luke's fate was sealed.
Yeah.
And all he did was go out to look for his girlfriend. Is it good enough to point the finger at a child and call that justice?
No.
Is it good enough to lie and cheat and hide and call that justice?
Hell no.
As Luke said, this could happen to any one of us. Unless we bring all this out into the open and lessons are learned from it, this will keep happening. Well, as so many of your t-shirts and banners are saying, not in our names.
Not in my name.
Not my name.
Back in 2003, Jodie's mum said, "Don't let someone else's baby be taken." Today, we face the reality that in order to close the case and deliver a conviction, not to find justice, not to find truth, just to deliver a conviction, someone else's baby was taken. Corinne Mitchell's baby.
Yep.
He was just 15 when he was incarcerated. And he's still there today. So I want to thank you all, on behalf of Luke, for coming out today to show such amazing support. And once again, our message is loud and clear. Not in our name.
name.
Thank you.
Yay! Well done. Oh, I'm bloody talking away here and I'm muted. I think I've been talking for about the past 5 minutes and I'm bloody muted. I shall start again, shall I? Welcome, Sean. Thank you so much for being in chat. It's nice to see you. It's nice to see a new name. And your statement is absolutely correct. Murder in a small town was a game changer, and there is no way of putting the genie back in that bottle. Definitely not. There's too much that's came out now for it to be put back in a bottle. No, no, William, it's no you. You weren't blocked. It was me. I was bloody muted. I mean, I was talking away to myself for the last 5 minutes. I said, welcome to Sean. I read out his message. I read out his second message and then realised I was muted. So nothing to do with you, I promise. So right, okay, let's get back to this. Yeah, it's happening on a regular basis now, Dark Side. Even in foul play, I'm muting myself and I'm chatting away. Aye, Disco, exactly. Aye, exactly. First time I was quiet, aye. Yes, Sandra. Sean, yeah. She has been a rock for Luke during this case. Definitely. What's where it says on might help you. You're a cheeky fucker, William. But thank you. Yes, where it says unmute. I should start paying a bit more attention to where it says unmute. So yes, Sean, Sandra has been a rock. She has been an absolute rock when it comes to Luke's case. She has fought. Same with Scott as well. I mean, Scott Forbes, he's been in it since the beginning and all, and he has done a fantastic job of getting Luke's name and things like that out there, spreading the truth. I just wish there was more people that would come forward. More people that wouldn't be feared to come forward, but which I know there is still quite a lot of people who are scared to come forward. But please don't, if you were a child back then, you're an adult now and they can't push you around the way they pushed you around back in 2003 and 4 and stuff like that. It's 2023 now. Please come forward, speak out, tell the truth. If you were bullied, harassed, whatever. I mean, at times I wish the jury, some members of the jury would come forward as well. And tell their story, but maybe they don't want to do that now because they realised that they got it so wrong, and well, it's no their fault. They didn't have all the information. The defence never had all the information. So, yeah, there's a lot in this. So let's continue with the video as this is, because I've still got a couple more to go. So. Just want to get some more of the banners and all that, son. You alright about, I'm going to be putting this on YouTube, are you alright with that? It's a video that I've got on channel, so I'm putting it on that. Are you sure? Not yet, you're not, no, that's fine.
We want justice, let me want it! No! We want justice, let me want it! No! We want justice, who do we want justice for? Show! Apologies!
Well, that was it, guys. We've got loads with their posters and their banners and everything. So, you alright with going on a video that I'm going to put on YouTube?
Aye.
It's alright with that? Right, okay. Hi guys, this is Val and this is Carol, and they're here to support Luke. And I'd just like to ask the two of yous, coming a bit closer, I'd just like to ask the two of yous, what are the 3 things that annoys you most?
We need to release the DNA samples.
Right?
We need to release Luke Mitchell.
And release Luke Mitchell.
Get the truth out. Get the truth out.
And shame on Police Scotland.
Corruption to the fore.
Yeah, definitely.
Corruption.
Definitely.
Get it released.
That's great. Thank you, ladies. Thank you. Hiya. Are you alright? I'm doing a video for the YouTube. Are you alright with going on? Yeah? Right. I'm not live now, but it will be later on. Alright. Hi, ladies. Nice to see you. Nice to see that you're here to support Luke. I would just like to ask you, when did you find out about the case? How did you find out about the case? And what are your 3 most annoying things about the case?
Right, so I found out about it when I was young. I'm 2 years younger than Luke and Jodie were, so I sort of knew about it. I live in Haddington, so it's a local area. We just sort of got back into it because it's been so long that Luke's been in prison and there's obviously no evidence against him. And all the stuff that the police are doing, getting rid of the evidence and everything, it's very suspicious.
It is, isn't it? It's absolutely.
And I just think they're corrupt.
Yeah.
To be honest, totally corrupt. Corrupt system.
Yeah, and what about yourself?
I'm the same. I found out when I was young as well, but obviously I believed the media and all their lies at the time.
Like a lot of people did.
Yeah, I just assumed they printed the truth, which is not the case.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically we've got back into it and we want to free Luke Mitchell, we want the samples released and tested, and the 3 most annoying things are probably the evidence that's not been tested, people that have not been looked at that should have been looked at, and just the incompetence really of the police.
Yeah. And what's your name?
I'm Stephanie.
Stephanie?
I'm Vicky.
Vicky, well, it was lovely to meet you, thank you for coming and supporting Luke. And we'll keep fighting and talking until he's walking, won't we?
Mitchell.
You Luke Mitchell. Thanks, ladies. Thank you. Hi there. I'm doing a video and it's going to be on YouTube. Are you happy to? I am. And yourself?
I'm struggling, sorry. I'm a bit...
Hi there, what's your name?
I'm Tammy.
And where are you from?
We came up from the borders.
Came up from the borders, that's fantastic.
I'm ages with Luke.
Right.
It happened when I was at school. Dalkeith's just down the road for us as well. And I'm very emotional after listening to Sandra and everybody speaking.
And even Luke in his own words as well.
I'm very choked.
It's been 19 years and he's never had his voice heard.
He hasn't, but I really hope that he feels it in us, because oh my god, you can feel it standing here yourself, you can feel what it means to everybody.
The amount of people that have turned up this protest than there was at last protest is absolutely fantastic.
And it's getting bigger and bigger, and they can't not listen to us.
No.
They can't not listen to us.
And what are the 3 most things that annoy you most about the case?
To sum it up in one word, the police, the corruption, the cover-up, the laziness. It's just, I just have an absolute disdain for the police. He was a child. He was a child, and it was a trial by media.
Yeah.
There's now people's identities are protected. You're not allowed to know people who have done horrendous things to paedophiles and everything like that. Protected.
Yeah.
He was a kid. He was 15.
And their
15.
excuse is because he wasn't in court proceedings or anything, they were free to release his name.
He was entirely let down. He was let down as a child. Jodie's been let down. Her whole family's been let down, and his poor mum as well.
Yeah. It's calling
Really,
you know,
really.
it's a whole Mitchell family.
It is, aye.
And I mean, there's some people who are saying, you know, that we're all delusional.
Aye.
And everything like that.
There's
but
not. No. You didn't have
it's
this.
wrong to
it
say
is-
that. We're following the evidence and the facts. Something that the police should have done to begin with.
Yeah.
You know.
100%.
Yeah.
And they haven't. They've let kids down and ruined people's lives.
They certainly have.
And this is just one lot of people's lives that they've ruined, because if they do this now, they do it to fucking everybody.
Exactly. It could be your son, your nephew, your cousin,
your
you know what
brother,
I mean, that this
anybody.
could happen to. I mean, even on Jodie's side as well, it could be a daughter, a sister, you know,
Anybody,
and they just destroyed it. They messed it up from the beginning.
And they can't hold their hands up and just go, we fucked up, let's start again, let's try again. They'll not do that. They'll not do that, because that would be admitting wrongdoing.
Exactly. Well, it was lovely to meet you, and thank you very
too.
much for coming to
Thank
support
you.
Luke. Thank you. Hello. I'm doing a video. Happy to be on it. To talk with you. Yeah. Okay. Hi there, girls. What's your names? Summer.
Sarah Jane.
And
Sarah Jane.
Cara Jane.
Sarah Jane.
Sarah Jane. Sorry, darling. Sarah Jane. Okie dokie. What I'd like to ask you is, how did you find out about the case? Did you know about it before the documentary, or was it at the documentary?
My dad actually told me about it.
Your dad told you about it? Right, okay. And what did he tell you about it?
But he just told me that like he had been convicted for a murder that he didn't do,
And that tweaked your interest, did it? Yeah? And yourself?
I got told about it from Summer, and then
So-
a few nights ago I attempted to watch a documentary, but I didn't really have the time to do it. But I might catch up tonight.
Yes, it's a good thing to catch up with. It gives a lot of information and a lot of detail. I'm so glad that yous have came out and yous have supported Luke today, and I hope you continue to support him like everyone. No problem. Thank you. Yeah. Hello everybody. This is Leo. This is my nephew. Say hi, Leo. You got a wave? You got a wave? Yeah, clever boy.
Quiet.
Right, I'm just wanting to get a few more people. I don't even know where Emma, there's Emma, because I'll need to keep an eye on when Emma's leaving or that, because that's when I'm getting her back. So, right. There's everybody got banners and all that. Oh, there's some over there. Right, just a sec. And here's some of the banners, guys. And then we've got the Mia Founter one. And it's like mine's engine there. We've got the release the samples. And the justice for Luke. Not in our name. Okay. Hiya.
I'm not camera shy.
You camera shy? Alright. No bother, no bother. I'm doing a video for YouTube. Are you happy to talk? No? Alright.
I'll be in it. No, I'm right to wait till I can't talk publicly.
Neither can a lot of people, so it's alright. It took me all my time to do it and all,
Well,
so...
it's funny because I was on the podcast, I was interviewed on that, but I didn't really look at anything.
Aye. Well, that's fine. Do you know what? I'll put it there, and if you want to talk, I'll have it on look, and then we'll just have your voice going. No? Okie doke, no bother. Thank you very much. No, you're absolutely fine. Thank you. Hello, nice to see you here. I know, aye. Would have been great. Aye. Definitely. Oh, not too bad. Just doing a video on that YouTube channel. So, I've been doing a video on that for it, and it's all good and everything like that. So, I'm just trying to get some content for it while I'm here. So, release the samples, and then justice for Jodie, justice for Luke, and not in my name is the hashtags that we want to start getting gone about. And that's what I'm doing.
Can I get some pictures? She's mine. Is that alright?
Yeah. Right, guys, I'll be back in a sec, alright? Okay, that's the first one. Excuse me. Yes, Double D. The building that we are standing in front of is the Scottish Parliament, Holyrood Parliament, where we handed in the petition a few months ago that had over 25,000 signatures on it, and the petition then was to hand it in, and since then the Lord Advocate has came out and said that there is no basis for a review of Luke's case, even though they have found out that there's been destruction of evidence, that there has been evidence not handed over to the defence. So, and this has all just came out in the last few months. So this was us doing another protest outside the same building. That's where our politicians are, is in that building. So yeah, that building has a huge significance. The Queen had her Scottish Airbnb across the road from it. Yeah, that's right. Holyrood Palace is just directly across the way from it. So let me try and get the other video, because there is another one that is more there is more people I spoke to. Because I'm back for now. She's back for now. Back for now. Back for now. Back for now. So I'm just maybe going to try and get a few more people to interview and talk about it.
Yes! You can tell!
Hiya, I'm doing a video for YouTube. Are you happy to be?
No, thank you. I'm fine.
Okay, okay. No, you're welcome. No problem.
No, wait, that's okay.
And what was fantastic, guys, is I mean, you hear them all in the background and everything like that. The buses and that were going by, the motors that were going by, workies that were going by, they were all tooting their horns. There was about 5 work vans going past, and they all tooted their horns simultaneously. Everything like that. Any tour bus that went past, if I remember it, her name, it was Sue. You can hear her loud and clear. Every tour bus that went past, like you see in the picture there, she would shout, "Look, Mitchell is innocent. Search Google. Do a Google search. He's innocent," which was absolutely fantastic. Double D, no, none of the politicians or anything like that came to speak. The only one that spoke, if you go back to the beginning of the video, if you go back on replay, there was a message from Luke himself that was played, and then Dr. Sandra Lean did a speech as well. But no politicians turned up this time. But it was a Saturday. I'm not 100% sure if they're in there on a Saturday. If they were, then they were hiding. So, but nobody, no politicians or anything like that came out. We did get one come out last time, when we first handed in the petition. I think his name was Russell Finlay. He came out the last time, but it was during the week the last time as well, that we had the protest. So right, so let's get back to this. I'm just going to get these posters and that, guys, because they are awesome.
No, like
I mean, look at these, they're bloody fantastic. And then we've got this one. And then we've got this one. Hi guys. Hiya, I'm doing a video for YouTube. Are you happy to be involved? Yeah? What about yourself?
She's got a few bracelets.
Okay, hiya, I'm just looking at your great posters there. What's your name?
I'm Val.
And where are you from?
I'm from Johnston.
Johnston. And how did you find out about Luke's case?
I've been banging on about Luke's case since 2003.
Right.
Because I don't think he did it either. I was also the local weirdo. I didn't kill him then, I don't think Luke did either.
Right. And what is the 3 main things that annoy you about the case in general?
The 3 main things. The crime scene was handled disgracefully. The 4 people that found her, only Luke was targeted. They should all have been separated, and it's a cluster from start to finish.
Yeah, it certainly is. It certainly is. That is great. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hiya, I'm doing a video for YouTube as well. You happy to be involved?
Just end up getting 2 Saturday. But thanks for the offer.
No, no problem at
You want a
all.
couple? You can take a wee couple if you want. Hand them to you, pals, or put them on your bag.
Take another wee pen. Yay! Thank you. Hiya.
I'm doing a video for YouTube.
All right. Yes, definitely.
Hiya, what's your name?
My name's Hazel.
And where are you from?
I'm from Roslyn in Midlothian.
From Roslyn, I'm just up the road in Pennycook.
All right, that's where my mum's from.
How did you find out about Luke's case?
Well, I remember when it all happened, 20 years ago now, and it was really just like the last maybe 3-4 years. All the more information that I was finding out about that wasn't in the newspapers, or the evidence that was hidden, and the more information I came across, I just go, this isn't right. This wee boy is been an injustice. You know what I mean?
Aye.
He spent nearly 20 years now of his life, and the more and more information that's came to the surface, it's just unbelievable. That the conviction actually even went ahead in the first place. It's absolutely shocking.
And the fact that the police are still saying that it's a secure conviction and they're not looking for anybody else.
They need to do a retrial. They've got to.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
Why they're sort of fighting against it. The murderer is still walking free in my eyes. You know.
Yeah, they certainly are. And what is the 3 main things that bother you about this case?
The amount of DNA evidence that was found on the crime scenes, the way that the police handled all the evidence when it was no DNA linked to Luke, how his mum was treated, and just this could be anybody's boy, brother. So, you know what I mean? It could happen to anybody, and it's just so scary that this is how it's happened. It could happen to anybody, and there needs to be a retrial as soon as possible. I just hope the signatures keep adding and adding up, and we get somewhere.
Yeah, we'll just keep talking until walking.
That's it, talking till he's walking. That's one.
That's great. Thank you so much for taking part. Thank you. Yeah, video for YouTube. Are you happy to be involved? Sorry. No, you're absolutely fine. Hi guys, I'm doing a video for YouTube. Are you happy to be involved? No? It's nothing too major, it's just what's your name, where you're from, how did you find out about the case, and what is your 3 main things that bother you about the case. That's it. You don't have to, honestly. It's absolutely fine. I was just wanting male, because everybody that I've spoken to so far has been female, so I was a male perspective.
You want to do it with me, Molly?
Okay guys, well I've got the few that we've seen before are female. I now have 2 gentlemen here. What's your names and where are you from?
I'm James, I'm from Glasgow.
I'm Murray, I'm from Kilmarnock.
And how did you find out about the case?
Through the Channel 5 documentary.
Right, and was that the same with yourself?
James
and what are the 3 things that annoy you most about the case?
The fact that there was no DNA found in Luke, that really bothers me, to be honest.
No evidence, pretty much. No DNA. The way the media treated him and his family.
Like the destruction of evidence now as well, which 3 years earlier is just ridiculous, to be quite honest.
It's a shame on it's Scotland, at Police Scotland's shame for the way they investigated it, well, non-investigated it, and everything like that as well. Do you agree with that point, that it was a shambles?
100%. Shambles from the start, to be honest. From the start. Should never have been got to this point, at least. You know what I mean? It should never have got to this point. But
and there's a few other podcasters that have done
I feel
stuff on James English
I feel like
and
the
stuff
podcast
like
shed a
that.
lot more light than what the documentary shed, personally.
Yeah.
Especially James English ones, the three podcasts. I felt they were very good on the subject, and they raised a lot of stuff that I didn't know about personally.
Yeah. But see, the reason why I do these videos is to get the truth out there and know the misinformation, and it's just great to see you gents actually supporting Luke, because as I said, a lot of people that I've spoken to today have been female, so it's absolutely great to actually get a man's perspective from it. 100% behind Luke. That's it.
Definitely. Hope justice is served, to be honest, for both families, to be fair.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you.
Just what you said there, I can't help but notice that the small places
No, the people that I've spoke to today.
No, just the support base in general, going by the Facebook page. It's an interesting.
Yeah, it is, yeah. But most of the people I've spoken to today are female as well, so that's why I was interested in getting a gent's perspective of it. So, and you believe he's completely innocent as well, yeah?
Yeah. I would be gobsmacked if, let's say, the test was still left.
That's it. There's not too many evidence.
I think the fact he was found dirty when he was friends of should have saved him.
Yeah.
And the fact that there was so much blood.
Exactly.
He was 14-year-old. He's not.
Bloody hell. Thanks, Andy B. Yes, I was fucking muted. Oh dear. I need to pay my attention more to the bloody screen. Thanks, Disco. Yes, I was muted. Yes. Double D, I shall start again. Yes, he's had appeals. He's had 4 appeals. His last appeal was in 2014 and they got denied. So what we want is an independent review. An independent review means that they will, it's done by a separate body, so it's not like the police investigating police. It could be a retired judge or advocate or commissioner or somebody along those lines that could look into the aspects of the case. And what that is that an independent review will go back to the beginning and they will investigate how the police handled it, what they did, how the scene was managed, how it went through the courts, and everything like that. So that's what we're hoping for. But in saying that, though, there has been lots of evidence that has came forward in the last few months. The documentary Murder in a Small Town was released in 2020, if I'm remembering correctly. It was 2020. And that was round about the February, March of 2020. By the November of 2020, the police started destroying crucial evidence in the case. And it's real crucial evidence in the case. And they destroyed it. They started destroying it. They've destroyed clothes with blood on it. They've destroyed knives that they said that they were missing, and everything like that. So a lot of stuff has came out. They've destroyed 90% of the evidence that was kept. Now, this evidence should not, and I repeat, should not have been destroyed until 2026. The way it works here in the UK with the evidence is that in the appeals process and everything like that, evidence is kept for 12 years. It's nothing like it is in America, where the evidence is kept forever, basically, or until the person is exonerated, died, released, or whatever. It's not like that here in the UK. So what will happen is that we need this independent review. I mean, we can't even get the trial transcripts or anything like that, Double D. So it's really, really hard for us to get police interviews and court transcripts and everything like that. The only thing that we have access to is his appeal documents, and his last appeal was in 2014, which means, since his last appeal was in 2014, that they should not have considered to destroy any evidence until 2026. But the documentary comes out at the beginning of the year, and then they start destroying evidence at the end of the year. So, what does that tell you? You know, what does that tell you? Why? If their conviction was so fucking secure, why are they destroying evidence? You know, it is ridiculous what they're trying to do. And I don't care who you are. You should be disgusted that the fact that police, the actual police, are the ones that are destroying fucking evidence. You know, we've been here before, guys. We've seen it in Luke's case. We're seeing it in Luke's case. We've seen it in Brendan and Stephen's case. We're seeing it in the Richard Glossop case. You know, it's not just in America. It's here in the UK and all. Now, I was talking to people that were at the protest at the weekend, and we were saying that it is ridiculous that people are not screaming about this destruction of evidence. You know what I mean? This is fucked look up for, you know, a decent, fair retrial, review, or whatever, because they have destroyed fucking evidence. But luckily, there is still DNA evidence that hasn't been destroyed. There is nail scrapings that haven't been destroyed. Now, we were told that there was only fingernail scrapings from under one of Jodie's hands' fingernails, but there is actually fingernail scrapings there from both her hands. You know, so we're not 100% sure on what all the evidence is that they've destroyed, which is ridiculous and disgusting. But there is DNA or biological evidence, if you want to put it that way, that can be tested, that Police Scotland have, and they are not releasing. There is at least 15 to 20 odd samples of fluids that was found on Jodie's body that have never been tested. never been tested, which is fucking shocking. Because if you're going to put somebody away for the rest of their fucking life, you better have all the fucking details. You know? And they didn't. They had evidence from the defence. Now, there is this whole thing about an essay that was written by Mark Cain. And because people were calling the name of the essay Killing a Girl in the Woods, the police were like, no, it doesn't exist. No such essay. None whatsoever. Well, luckily, the reason why we found out about this evidence being destroyed is because somebody actually grew a conscience in the fucking police force and they became a whistleblower and they passed on the information. So, thank you, whoever you are. Thank you. And I take my hat off to you because we need fucking more people like you to come up and stand up and come forward when they see this bullshit happening. So I praise you to the highest hilt, whoever you are, who came forward with that information about the destruction of evidence. I really, really, really do take my hat off to you. So this information was passed on and they managed to get it stopped. They managed to get the destruction of evidence stopped. Well, they found in amongst this evidence, there was 2 copies of an essay that was written by Mark Cain that Scott Forbes has been saying since 2003 when he took him to the police station himself. And he said about this essay being written, they made that guy out to be a fucking liar. The Daily Record done a hit piece on him and said that him and Mark Cain had this scheme, this plan that they were going to go to the papers and Mark Cain was going to admit to murdering Jodie for the sum total of £50,000 and then they were going to split it with each other. Really? Fucking really? Anybody who swallowed that are more gullible than what I fucking think they are, you know. And Scott has said this from the beginning. Well, now it has been proven that this man has been telling the fucking truth from the beginning. You know. So, and I'm not going to apologise for my language. I am not. Because this case, just like the Avery case and everything like that, gets right up my fucking goat. And enough is enough. Like we're saying, no more. Not in my name. Not in my name. Not in Scotland's name. It is Scotland's biggest fucking shame. How many cases were affected by the destruction of the evidence? What paths, plans are they making? Has the people from Luke's case spoken with those involved? It was just Luke's case that's been affected with this information, Cat, because it was only Luke that they went after. There was other people that should have been investigated that were not investigated. And some of these people have mental health issues and have had mental health issues, quite a few of them. But that wasn't known to the defence or anything like that, and was hidden from the defence. So it's just ridiculous. The one that's been affected by the destruction of evidence is Luke. It's Luke himself. What paths, plans are they making? That I'm not 100% sure of because I'm not completely in touch with the legal team or anything like that. I think they're trying to put a case together. I don't know if they're going to try and go for another appeal on the fact of this new evidence that is coming forward. or anything like that, but they are working in the background because they're not going to let this go. They can't let it go. You know what I mean? Luke's justice has been denied because they withheld evidence. You know? So no, Katna, you don't need to apologise for asking questions. That's what we're here for. That's what I'm here for. So stumped me. That I'm not 100% sure on. I would need to actually look that up. Myself. Has my computer frozen? Have I froze? I think I've frozen. Oh, come on, computer. Didn't start now. You've done so well so far. Sorry, guys. My computer's being a bit of a dick. I think it just needs to catch up with itself a wee bit. Hi, Cherie. Nice to see you. Yeah, my computer's frozen. I've frozen, guys. I'm so sorry. Oh, there we go. That's it. It's coming back now, just. So no, it's all good. Ask questions. That's what we're here for.